Every day that Donald Trump is in court, you can bet he will cause some type of drama. The man has adopted a hush money trial court routine. And no, I am not talking about how he falls asleep in the middle of the day. I'm talking about how he attacks the judge at the top of the morning, every break, and each time the trial wraps up for the day. It's like the only thing he's thinking about while in court are his 15 seconds of embarrassment in front of the camera, whining about Judge Juan Merchan being corrupt or unfair simply for doing his job. I'll show you some of the videos of his tantrums in just a few, but first, let's talk about how Trump acts as if he's in the middle of a trial because he is the main protagonist in a Salem Witch Trials movie. No, Donald Trump is in court because he orchestrated the falsification of business records to cover up a payment to a porn star. So no, it's not because the world is out to get him. It's just that his actions are finally catching up to him. And like any other American charged with a crime, he is granted the opportunity to a trial by jury, but that's not enough for Trump. That's not fair that he is treated just like anyone else. No, he thinks he is so entitled that he can get away with anything just because he's Donald Trump. Trump is not the first person to be put on trial. However, he is the first former U.S. president in history who has been tried on criminal charges. Instead of just admitting that, he'd rather attack Judge Juan Merchan. Today, he criticized Merchan for clearing the courtroom to admonish defense witness Robert Costello, calling the judge conflicted and the scene unprecedented. Take a look.
So thank you very much. You saw what we saw. That was an incredible display. I've never seen anything like it in my life. A tyrant. And everyone's talking about it. This is what we have. We have an acting judge, appointed judge by Democrats, by the club. And they're keeping now, I guess this is our fourth week, soon to be our fifth week. Not campaigning, but you saw what happened, what just took place in that court. And 15 people that I'm supposed to be meeting about being who's going to be our vice president, but I'm stuck in the refrigerator all day. The presidential nominee, I'm down here by an acting judge. He's acting. And you know who appointed him? Democrats in a clubhouse. But hopefully, I tell you, for the good, and I hope the governor steps forward and the mayor steps forward, because you can't go. And it's like we have an armed camp outside. I mean, if you're a civilian, you can't get within 3 blocks of this courthouse. All you have is police. And they're in blue, and they look good to me, but I'll tell you what, you don't see any civilians outside. I never saw so many iron gates as I've seen the last 5 weeks. Andy McCarthy, to show he stole from the Trump organization, even as they're structuring a deal, blah, 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 and now I can't talk about it because, again, I have a gag order. So I think the case is going very well. We've asked for termination of the case. This case should be terminated. This shouldn't go anywhere. It should be terminated right now.
Let's start with Donald Trump complaining about the temperature in the courtroom. How cold, or judging off the amount of sweat dripping down his face, I guess I should ask, how warm does he keep his refrigerator? His comments about the cold temperature of the courtroom and more importantly about Merchan are no longer shocking. They are annoying and incredibly concerning. To suggest that a judge is conflicted simply for upholding the rules of the court is ridiculous. And it's a dangerous attack on our judicial system. Accusing the judge of bias just for doing his job, that's like yelling at the referee when your team is losing. Trump's complaints about the judge limiting the defense's expert witness testimony reveal a blatant disregard for or a lack of understanding of legal processes. Whichever it is, Trump is undermining fair and impartial proceedings. His claims that nobody's ever heard of it before only highlight his ignorance of history and the importance of adhering to established courtroom procedures. Don't let Trump convince you that there is some type of clash between him and the judge. He is simply attacking the very principles of justice and fairness. The rule of law must be respected regardless of who is in the defendant's seat. Trump knows that Merchan was only doing what needed to be done to ensure the integrity of the case. His countless attempts to cast doubt on his decisions or question his motives is a direct threat to the impartial administration of justice. As we move forward, let us remember that no one, not even a former president, is above the law. Donald Trump is just upset that he can't make a reality TV show out of this trial.